Hi everyone, it's Dom again, and today we're going to discuss binary options. Now, the only reason I'm discussing this is because yes, I do know that in 2018 it became illegal to trade binary options. Um, the FCA banned it, which means a lot of the binary option companies basically ceased trading. Some of them decided to put in stocks and commodities and stuff like that, but on the whole, they were substantially reduced. Now, I've discovered recently that pocket options seems to allow binary trading, and I believe I believe this is because they're not regulated by the FCA. They are regulated, but by an independent body, and I don't think they're based within the UK. So I'm not sure whether you can trade it or not, but I do know that I've gone in on a demo account and I can trade under demo. I don't know if it's going to be the same situation if I go live or not, but I will attempt to do this in February and see if I can actually trade live. Um, Now, what I will say is this video is not to teach you how to trade, but purely to show you that if you learn to trade, then you should be able to make money out of it. Now, I didn't just learn like that. What happened was is back in 2012, 2013, I I was working for a railway company, and I did this for about 10 years. I was with this company, and after 10 years, I was sitting there one day thinking, you know what, this is not really getting me where I want to go, and I'm sitting there 8:30 to 4:30 every day, doing the same old nonsense, and it was like I was a zombie. So I wanted to get out of that, and it so happened that somebody I knew offered me another job working within the minicab industry, but in a project management role. This lasted 3 months, and then the company got 2P'd over, and my position became obsolete. So that was no good, and I found myself scrounging around looking for a way to make money, and so I got involved in binary options, and wasn't sure what to make of it really, because people are saying it's a scam, it's this, it's that, and I think you do need to tread carefully, but also with this sort of stuff, you do need to find yourself a mentor who can educate you on how to trade, because I didn't know just off the cuff. I had to learn, and it took me a couple of years, 2, 3 years to do it. And just when I started making money, that's when the law came into place and basically banned binary options. So that really messed me up, and I was like, all right, well now I need to find something new to do, which is why I fell back on teaching salsa. Now, what I will show you is, like I said, the purpose of this video is not to show you how to trade, but to show you that if you learn to trade, that you can make money. So what I've done is over the course of a week, showing you my demo account, which is with Pocket Option, and you're going to see me take a few trades. I'm not going to tell you why I take them, but let's just say that these are strategies that I've learned. Um, Now, if you do want to learn how to trade, I'll probably will start a group at some time in the near future. Hit me up in the comments, and I will let you know the details of it on and how you can get into it. But the bottom line is a tip I will give to you is the best way of making money is learning when to say no, because the market can change, and you need to be able to adapt to when things aren't going your way. And a lot of the time, if you treat trading like gambling, like you go in willy-nilly on a hope and a prayer, then you are really gambling and you're not trading, and the chances are you're going to blow your whole account. If, however, you learn to use the charts, you learn what the indicators mean, and more importantly, when you take a trade, why you're taking that trade. Because if you're doing it willy-nilly and you win, then you're kind of playing guessing games, and you never be able to replicate the same results. Whereas when you learn why you take a trade, then money isn't an option, because you'll always take a trade for the reason. Uh, so it doesn't matter whether you put £1 on it or you put £5,000 on it. The reason should always be the same. Um, of course, the outcome will be different because you'd make a lot more money, but you have to look at everything in percentages. So if you've got a small account, I mean, what I recommend, what I did is I started off ages ago. I started with a really, really small amount of money, um, just so that I could trade live, and that if I lost it, it wouldn't matter so much because it was only a small amount of money. But doing that kind of helps you because are, well, you get the feeling of how the markets move and how things can change very quickly. So, anyway, this is a course of over a week. I'm going to give you some commentary while it's doing, and I'm going to speed everything up in the video because, I had to wait for an hour, half an hour for things to get to where they went to before I took a trade. So you're going to see that. You're going to see that some of the trades didn't win, um, but you're going to see how I rectified that. But I'm also going to tell you when I shouldn't have done it because the only reason I did go ahead and do the stuff was because of the fact that I knew it was a demo account. But in reality, I probably wouldn't go so far as to use that amount of money on one trade. So yeah, anyway, here we go. This is binary options, pocket option for you. Check it out. Okay, so if you pay attention to the lower left hand side of the screen, you're going to see request in process and trade successfully placed. Now what I've done is I was going to originally just play the markets to you, record the screen as I took the trades and play it back to you, but because these weren't taken one after the other in the majority of cases, they were kind of taken at different points in time during the day. Some were later, some had an hour space gap between them. It would just have been a really long video if I'd left it playing, and I didn't see the point of speeding up because then you would have missed where I took the trades. So what I've done is I've gone through the video myself and just taken screenshots of when I took the trade and then put the screenshots together. Now, had I been doing this on a live account, I would have definitely not taken as many trades as I took today, because the general rule is you should take no more than 3 trades a day. And if any of those trades fail, as in, or if you trade once and you lose, trade twice and you lose it, and you trade 3 times and you lose it, you're supposed to just stop trading. Otherwise you end up blowing your whole account. You're also supposed to make sure that those trades that you do take are 1% of your overall balance. That's what should be happening. Now I didn't do that. I kind of took extremely large trades. And in one case I should have really just not gone in at all. But seeing as it was a demo account and I was pretty confident that it was going to work, I just went in anyway. Right, anyways, here we go. So 10:12 in the morning, I took a trade. See, request in process, bank balance 1239.40. Then at 10:13 I took another trade. See, down here, bank balance has gone down because I used the amount of money. Again, I took another trade. Again, the bank balance has gone down there. And I took another trade here. Again, it's gone down. Okay, we'll keep looking. Right, so I've won a trade. I won the trade there. Okay, which is great. And I won the trade here again, so it's gone up, as you can see. So that was that's what we won back, which was looking good. Took another trade here, and that's at 10:26. So fortunately it didn't win, didn't go the way I wanted it to, so that's one trade down. I took another trade here again, and that was at 10:32. You can see that the money's come off there, and I took, okay, so we won that trade as well. See, that's gone up to 12:37. I took another trade here, that's at 11:08. That lost, as you can see. Okay, took another trade here, and that was at 11:16. Again, that lost. Luckily it wasn't a large amount over there. Took a $100 trade. That was I can't see the time there, but I know it was later. Again, that lost as well. So the money obviously is in the demo account has come down. Then we placed another trade. Again, that's come down again, leaving me with 737 in the account. That one, money's gone back up again, and that's at 1:05 in the afternoon. Okay, so now we move on to Wednesday the 4th. Now, this definitely wasn't the best trading day because I invested more than I should have in one particular trade. Now, I knew it was going to the likelihood or probability was it was going to come through, but I should never have put that amount of money on it anyway, even though it's a demo account. But as you can see, if we look at this, um, so starting off, this was at 10:59 in the morning. I took a trade at 663. Account balance is 1129.40. So that trade, I took another trade at 11:01, and the first trade lost, as we can see that. The second trade won, so you can see that reflected in the bank balance at the top. I then took another trade at 12:01 for $100. I'm just waiting for it to move on. And we took another trade again at roughly about the same time, different spot, different strike price, and finally a $300 trade at 12:03. Now the thing was, none of these trades worked out. Actually, no, one of them did, but there you go. The $300 trade worked out there, which was fine. So the bank balance is reflected there. I took another $100 trade at well, I can't see the time, but I know it was a bit later on. If we keep looking at that, that's gone down. I believe this one lost, if I remember correctly. And I took finally a $700 trade at 12:28. I was pretty confident in this because that $100 trade that I took earlier didn't come through. That lost, which left me £15 or $15.40 in the bank. But that $700 one did come through and took me back up. But if you have a look at that, that $700 trade which I took, it may well have brought me back up to 13.24.40, but in the scope of things, it really wasn't worth the amount of hassle because I only made a small amount on that for such a large amount of trading and spending so much time in the markets. It was a lot of hassle when I shouldn't really have taken that trade, but I did. Yeah, so Thursday the 5th of December. Let's see if we can see how these trades are going. Okay, so we took a trade at 9:23 for $50. That's shown in the bank balance, 1274.40. It was 13 something before. That trade won at 9:29 in the morning. The balance shot back up. I then took another trade at 10:14 for $100. At 10:15 I took another trade for $100. And at 10:20 I took another trade for $300 this time, which left the bank balance at 867.40. However, by 10:24 the $100 trade had failed. 10:26 our $300 trade had won, so that boosted the balance back up. And at 10:35 I took another $300 trade, which left the balance at 718.40. 10:36 we placed another trade for $300, brought it right down to 418.40. And at 10:41 that trade, the $300 trade, had won, so again reflected in the balance there. At 10:46 the other $300 trade won, boosted the balance up to 13.90. Okay, so Friday the 6th of December 2019. Today is also NFP Day, which stands for non-farm payrolls. It causes a lot of movement in the markets in a very short space of time. So some people prefer to stay out, other people like to trade it. Me personally, I'm a bit dubious about trading when that's happening, because I do find the markets behave very erratically, and it is, if you go in, I say go in with extreme caution when the NFP is about to take place. Right, so, well, the first trade of the day was at 10:10. If you look at the top right over there, the balance is 13.40. If you looked at my balance yesterday, you would have seen it was 13.90. The reason it's 13.40 is because I've just taken a $50 trade. If you look in the bottom left hand corner, trade successfully placed. The only problem was this was quite I was just waking up, to be honest, and my attention wasn't fully focused, and it isn't a 5-minute trade that I wanted to take. It was a 10-minute trade. So what I then did is I immediately took a 10-minute trade for the same amount of money. So you can see from that 1340 it's gone down to 1290 at the top there, because I didn't want the first trade. So that was an error by my mistake. Now if we move it along here, what you can see is the first trade didn't actually come through, which is what I thought anyway. I knew it wasn't going to come through. And then what I then decided to do is take a slightly, well, I haven't taken a slightly bigger trade yet. I waited for the second one to come through. The second one did come through as I expected. So as you can see, the balance has gone up now to 1378, but it's still less than what I started with. So I was about $13 down, so I wasn't too pleased. But at the end of the day, you cannot chase your losses. That's a bad mentality to have, because you will blow your account if you try and do that. You have to wait for the opportunities to arise. Like here, at 11:32, I placed a $100 trade. If you look at the balance up there, it's gone back down to 1278 from 1378, because that's what I was using. And then if we look at 11:42, that $100 successfully came through. So the balance is reflected up there, 1463.90, and then there isn't any more trades placed until 1:54, because you see that long line there, the green one, the big one, that's the NFP. Now I decided to take a trade right there at 1:54. As you can see, request in process. Now I took a $200 trade. It hasn't reflected in the balance yet, because when I did the screenshot, it was still placing. But if I move it along a little bit, so you can see, you can tell by the time it says 1:54, right? So if I move it along just slightly, let me just move it along. There, 1:54. You can see the balance is taken into account 1263. That's the $200 I've just placed. I was pretty confident with this one, which is why I took it. But again, just in case, because NFP can be unpredictable at times, I put enough on there that should it fail, it's no big deal anyway. But I was confident that it wasn't going to fail, and as you can see, at 2:04, that trade won, which brought the overall balance up to 1533.90. So overall this week I've made quite a decent profit for trading not too large, apart from the first one back on the Wednesday, I think it was, when I silly or stupidly put too much money down. Although it came through, that's not the point. The principle is you are never supposed to do stuff like that. You're supposed to trade within your means, and that means to win at this, or to trade properly, you need good money management skills, because if you take trades that are too large and you blow your account, then you've got nothing to go back in with. The idea is just to keep your amounts small and within reason, so that should you need to go in more than once, you've got your money to back you up, so that you'll always be able to get back what you lose. But obviously if you trade too high and it's too much for your account, then you can lose everything and then you're back to square one. So you do have to be careful. Anyway, I hope this has been a bit of an insight to what binary trading is actually like. As you can see, I haven't let too much on how I trade or why I do what I do, but every time I've taken a trade, there's always been a reason behind it. It hasn't been guesswork. It's been an education calculation. So that's why.